It's been a different kind of year. We've made plans, we had assumptions, and then along came a virus. In 2020, the United States Air Force ROTC boasted 15,454 cadets. In Nevada alone, there are 90 cadets. 8 cadets earned their butter bars. This is the story of 4 of those cadets. These future leaders are half of the graduating class of Detachment 004 at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Air Force ROTC. We hope as you hear them, you gain a deeper appreciation for the dedication, determination, effort, and even sacrifice that it takes to become an officer in the United States Air Force.
Lieutenants, how you guys doing today?
Excellent, sir.
Good.
Thank
How are
you,
you?
sir.
Good. Well, thanks for being here. Congratulations on your commissioning. I was sitting in those chairs a long time ago in 1999, and so I know the excitement you feel. But let's go around the room. Let's just do a couple of quick introductions, if that's okay.
My name is Lieutenant Avery Allen Lias. I'm selected to be an aircraft maintenance officer heading over to Travis Air Force Base.
And I'm Lieutenant Bryce Alvis, and I got picked up this past March to go to Euroneo Joint Jet Pilot Training at Shepherd next March.
I'm Lieutenant Connor Smith. I'll be going to Okinawa to be a force support officer.
And I am Lieutenant Ansel Cabrera. I'm heading to Eglin Air Force Base to be a developmental engineer.
It's always challenging for students to rise to the level of performance that's expected in college. And then when you put another program on top of that where they have to be dedicated and perform, substantial duties and obligations for that program, it's a particularly difficult situation.
Maintaining a 3.25, which is the requirement of Air Force ROTC, is very tough in College of Engineering. If anybody has a 3.2, they have done wonderfully well. Probably they will be in the top 25% of the class.
What are some key takeaways you're going to leave Las Vegas with to go out there and spread throughout the rest of the force?
Always push yourself. If you're always pushing yourself, that gives the example to your subordinates, and they want to push themselves.
Number one thing I learned was just be willing to change.
Don't ever accept the status quo. If there is a better way, find it.
Patience. Patience for yourself. Patience to kind of learn.
They have to make sacrifices, personal sacrifices, to be able to meet the demands of being in the ROTC program, and also, their academic responsibilities. And so I think it creates a sense of stick-to-itness and tenacity.
It's amazing to see the discipline. It's amazing to see the physical strength these cadets bring in. And in classrooms, these are very disciplined students.
What we have going on around the world right now with COVID. How do you manage that in your head, and how are you thinking about that as a leader?
One of the things with this pandemic too is it's kind of forced the world to challenge the status quo of how they do business and how they operate on a day-to-day basis.
I think the biggest one that we all saw was Zoom. Zoom and WebEx were probably the biggest ones. Learning to be comfortable with them. I mean, it's not too hard of a transition, but for some people it's definitely trying to coach them like, hey, you do this with Zoom, you don't do that, or please mute yourself during the Zoom call. I don't want to hear you making espresso.
And now here you are, graduating from college, going into the Air Force, and you couldn't walk across the stage.
When we found out that there was going to be some complications with our ceremony and us walking across the stage, not going to lie, we were very upset about it.
I thought that's what was important to me, is getting the opportunity to walk across the stage in front of my family and friends and grab a diploma.
But I think, like with any stressful event in life, you may be upset about it for a little bit, but when you can push through that and adapt to the situation mentally, everything else just follows suit.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Congratulations on joining this long blue line. As a colonel and seeing this next generation and handing the baton over to you, I can't tell you how excited I am for our country. We're in much better hands with you guys taking this full speed ahead. And we look forward to seeing you guys out there on the flight line, and I'll see you at First Lieutenant and Captain and Major and so forth. So thanks again for being here.
Ever since Avery was a baby, he was a very quiet child. But at the age of maybe 7, he knew he wanted to be a soldier. Looking at him today with the bars on, it was a very proud moment for, any parent